Up. Toes, 2, 3, right, 2, left, 2, 3, center, inhale, exhale, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 7. Waist, rotate the waist. One, switch. Excellent. Back and forth. Two, tilting side to side. Rotating. Switch. Rest. Switch. Switch. Forward. Flat. Side. Back to it. Front to right. Go down. Turn. One. Switch. Back to it. Front to right. Stand. Turn to up. Shift your weight. Hands up, you raise. Width, punching. Switch. 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 Up, elbows in. Switch side fist. Switch. Switch, continuous punch. Back fist. Right. Just that. Now. Punching. 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. The block. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Block. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. My block. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. All three. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Block and punch. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Middle block. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2. High block and punch. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Bridges. And exhale. 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, waist high press. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. High gate, eyebrow height. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Extend, turn, press, close. Deep breaths. Left leg forward, keep the toe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Blade of the foot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Keep the heel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Press. to the waist. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2. Roundhouse to the head. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Straight right kick. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Yeah, take a break.
Second, yes. Remember it? Okay. Yeah, but you've been doing a lot, you know, the Tai Chi and everything. She just had her appendix taken out yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
On Friday.
On Friday.
You feel all right? Yeah, absolutely.
Really?
As if nothing happened. It's so strange. Yeah.
How long did it take? 2 hours?
About 2 hours.
Yeah, I do the scope for the scouting.
Yeah.
3 holes.
That's still nice. It's good recovery.
Yeah. Well, one day I did it around.
I'd still be
So
bad.
it was.
You just can't lift, that's all. You can't lift they said like don't lift like, don't do too much.
Yes, this is the only restriction.
Don't do anything. Don't do iron wire or anything like that. Okay, ready? Second form. Eyes staring straight ahead. Ready, begin. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Salute. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay, good. So let's try that again. Deep breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. So we've been doing a lot of, just fixing footwork and timing and so forth. So, while we talk about it, does it happen when you're doing your forms? Because, it's easy to do one movement. It's when you cycle through a whole series of movement, if, to get your body to understand that this is what's supposed to happen. So you always take a step and then transition into the stance. So in other words, if I shift here, I have to step, but I'm actually not stepping and committing. I'm here, I step, and then I shift, right? I adjust, and then I shift. I step, and I go in position. Just like the cross step, you're in a dragon claw, you turn, you cross, but you have to sink into your stance in order to make your turn. So if you go into here, and you're here, and then you just pass through, the posture that is crossing isn't as defined unless you turn. Then you're in your stance, then you step. So you have to really, work each posture in the form so that it has some, body form, or, create the image. So hand, eye, body, waist, and stance, right? Hand, eye, body. Body is your body form. It's your posture. It's the final position, the look. So those are, that's what makes the form have accuracy of motion. Accuracy of motion is really one of the things that we talk about. In Tai Chi we talk about it. In Kung Fu should be the same thing. That's the picture perfect image with all the alignment and all the things that you would want when you draw a picture too, right? You have to have that alignment. That's what you create as an imagery from the look. But you have to understand also that when you set up a posture and you get this accuracy of movement, your ligaments, joints, and tendons are being, used to control through your sensory system, that's the position. That's the position. That's the position. It's not this, it's this. It's not this, it's not this. It's this. When you hold a claw, when your hand is like this, when your hand is like, these are all kind of measured out in your body form. And that measuring is really a relative position to your own space. So you have to know your own body, because that's what you're protecting. If you're using it as a martial art, you have to know where your space is. So that's something that becomes, really an automatic response. Your body starts to recognize center line, shoulder width, shoulder height, diagonal. The diagonal is always, doesn't matter where it is. Boom, boom, boom. The same motion happens there, it happens here, it happens here. All the same stroke. Yeah. One stroke gives you 3 different positions because you have 3 different stances, all different postures. All right, so let's do it again. Ready? Half the battle is understanding it. Right? Ready? Begin. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Push. 1, scoop. 2, 3, 4, and back. So when you scoop, we do this in 5 stances. We're here, and we're here, right? So we scoop. Scoop is really, this is the setup when you learn it. This is the other position. But to get from here to here has to be a pattern of motion. You're like this. So because you're intercepting, your hand is here, you're like that. So when you're here, then when you step, it becomes that. So that creates an action. You have to create that sort of emotion in the movement. It has a feeling in the movement, so it becomes alive. It's more of expression, right? What you're talking about when you were playing that song. You got to express the movement, right? So when you're here, 1, 2, 3, right? 1, 2. So your body has to take over and create that imagery. Okay. 1, 2, reverse, lean, chop, scoop, press, kick, and punch. Good. Look at your hand. Eyes following the hands, right? Change your direction. 1, 2. Back the horse stand. 1, 2. Sliding step punch. Diagonal strike. Lift. Elbow down. Dragon. Cross step. Sink. Spin. Palm strike. Scoop, press, kick. Jump back. Sink. Rise. Sink. Twist. Kick. And phoenix eye. Change directions. Sliding step punch. 1, 2, 3. Turn. Change directions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Push. 1, 2, 3. Push. Uppercut. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and close. Okay. All right, deep breathing. So when you go through forms, especially something like this, you'd probably find certain movements that are easier to execute than others, and those are the ones that are probably requiring maybe less coordination, maybe less timing in the motion, maybe it's a little bit more complex than something like a simple punch and a chun kill. So, so how do you develop or how do you improve that? Because your goal, I guess, going through forms is to make it better, right? I mean, and what's better, right? What's better, do you think, right? It's subjective. It's as good as you think it is, or you think as it can be. You really don't know completely because just like this movement, right? You really don't know. You kind of second guess it. You make it faster. Maybe you try to make it stronger, but how do you improve that? So that's part of, I guess, the responsibility of teachers. Teachers will try to make you better by drills or maybe certain advice of what it's missing. So and then you have different strategies with our exercises. So our exercises really help us develop a better understanding of the movement itself and space. So this movement, I think, is pretty after the turn, and we palm strike. So when you're here, after you spin here, then you spin, this hand has to come here, and then you palm. So there's a rotation, but you still have to tie the two sides together. Just like the punch, you don't have just, right? So you pull. So that's important because that's your technique. So if you put some understanding into the movement, then you realize that this has to be here, this has to drop to here, this has to pull here, and this has to palm out there. But you can't do it without your legs, and you can't do it without the relationship between the upper and the lower body, and you can't do it without turning your shoulders. So all these things have to come into play. So when you spin, okay, so Irina just did the spin, right? So we're using that movement as an example to critique. So do it again, right? So she cross over and she's going to spin. And then she spun. Right? Okay, hold it there. No, so her hand was here, and the wrist was like that, right? So it's missing something. What's it missing? It's missing that and that, because that should be the interim position on the halfway around. So to get this to here, before you drop your elbow to here, to set up this so you can turn. Right? So those are the interim positions. Those are the phases in your movement. If you can't find those positions, the movement's going to be compromised. Right? So when you're here and you turn and you scoot down, you turn, this has to have the structure on the rotation. When you have this structure, then this and this is going to be natural. If you end up here and then it's not quite focused enough, you lose the intent of the movement. So that's one example of why sometimes when you do a form, you can't pick up on those strategies, right? So yeah, so do that again, Paul. So what would be wrong with that or missing there? What would be missing? Huh? Hard to figure out, right? He should. Uh-huh. Yeah. So because if you're here, then you start to do this, then the cutting hand is going to be compromised, because when you're here and you start to drop your elbow, you had turned into this vertical position to create the block. Because in an application, now you can see it a little bit clearer right here. I'm here. It's not going to work because you're not in position to execute. It has to come to here before you can actually utilize your elbow. because the neutralization of this force has to come here. 1, 2, 3, and palm. So when you're doing your form, because it's virtual, it's very hard to imagine where your body form is going to go, right? So once it's pointed out, it becomes logical. It just makes sense and you'll do it. Then when you scoop, you're like that, right? And then you turn, right? Press. So between this, this, and this sets up. Thrust. Lift. Chop. Lift. Strike. So every position has to be set up. So the preset of the positions is what is misunderstood a lot. No. Okay, do it again. Hold it there. No, you didn't finish the turn. You have to no, don't lean. Just turn. Then drop. Then this goes here. Then the other hand. So the direct relationship is this. This is right to left. This is forward and back. So because we have X, Y, Z axis of the plane of movement, and then the waist has to be in the direction and compatible. But then when you blend it together, it happens all at once, right? So when you're here, turn, it becomes this. Because now this becomes that and that. But you have to define the space first, then you connect the dots. So, it's as simple as that, but yet people overlook it because when we go through forms, we're not going through it with accuracy when we're learning it or practicing it. We're running through the motions. It's just we're doing it for sequence, but we're not doing it for body mechanics. Body mechanics is the learned skill from understanding what those relationships are. So the body's relationship isn't understood because, not because you haven't heard it, it's because this isn't telling this correctly, because the body really doesn't know. You have 700 postures you're going through in every form. Some of them fall into this category, some fall into this category. But, when you identify it because of the cross-training and form, then it starts to recognize and then it just starts to happen. It's just a part of experience. Then you scoop, press, kick. Press, lift, chop. Yeah. But you have to focus a little bit more. When you lift, you thrust like this. Now when you lift, your body turns. So what's important in the lift, then it's this, right? When you're here, when you lift, chop, do the movement before that, right? You have to spiral up, lift, and then this becomes here. So you lift and then turn. Now the lifting is this, compatible with the lift. This is settling. Now the next thing you do to the chop, okay, so he did a double chop, but in the chop you really only have to relax this and then chop. Because this becomes this. No waste. 1, 2. So your intensity of your force in a direction can be really one side, the other side is passive. And then they meet. You see, so you can see this is here, this is passive, active, 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 passive, lift. Right? So when your body starts to identify with gravity, then all you do is have to channel the movement. So you say, how do you do it without strength? I mean, that was the whole thing that my teacher would constantly say. Do your movements without strength. Don't use strength. Don't do this, don't do that. But he didn't really mean no strength. He was just saying you're using it at the wrong time. So you have to learn to use your strength correctly, which is the struggle that everybody has going, while you're learning, because a body actually doesn't know anything. It just does what it thinks it's supposed to do. And sometimes it's because you're mimicking movement. I say, well, that's what this is. And you copy and you memorize sequence. But then after sequence, you have to go back and develop the understanding of the structure integrity, the timing, the transition, the phases, all the principles that guide the movement, right? So when you're here, if we just sit like this, thrust. So what has to happen when you thrust? Right, try it again. We're here. Thrust. Okay. Do you feel it in your thigh? Because you have to sink. So now you focus on my leg here, you see. Now you focus on my leg here, you see a transition. You focus on my leg there. That's the upper lower coordination. The lower part people don't see. Why? Why don't we see the lower part? We don't see the lower part because we're not doing it and we didn't know that exists. So what you don't know, because the body doesn't know it, you can't see it because your focus is not there. So when I'm here, and I'm here, and I'm here, when I tell you that this is moving, and you look at it, you say, okay, that it is. Then you say, is my moving doing that? And then you discover that it isn't. And that's how you evolve. Right? But everybody's going to be different because everybody's ability in the leg work or physical capabilities are different. So that's why there's always going to be a variant of people's skill levels. So yeah. So do that again, Kim. Or do that. Yeah. So her movement, right? What movement's okay, right? Do it again, right? Okay. Yeah. The first time her fingertips were but not really focused enough to be a strike. So when you go like this, even though you're striking down like this, and your hand has to turn, so now you have an alignment of the, I just mentioned your joints and ligaments and tendons. So when you thrust, you have to have that alignment. When you're like this has to be focused, this has to be like this, and the wrist is seated. So you have a strength here, but yet it's not tight. Right. Right. So do that again. Cut. So her cutting hand's not good. It's high. Shoulder's not good, right? Because the elbow's out now. The elbow's out. You have to relax the shoulder. Elbow's out. Turn the hand. Yeah. So it should see. When you turn like this, then your shoulder can be relaxed. If it's like this, there's tension. The strength is not here. That's how subtle the positions are. That's what makes kungfu kungfu. Kungfu is a term. It really means a skillful understanding. Yeah, so, okay, do it right. So this should be here. The alignment for here to here should be 45 degrees. Yeah, so the strength becomes here. Yeah, and it should be right there, like this. So you calm, right? So your strength is here. So how this is the effect that you're going to have on a downstroke, right? And then this side is that. But you're setting this up to do this, right? So what is that? You're really, the hand here is really going to, if I took this hand, this side, right? If my hand is here. The next thing is this, right? Oh, I want to hit you in the hand. This is going to do this. Because that's, so here it just becomes a capturing as a motion. So when you're here, I go like this. This is really coming in because my body is closing in like this. So the power comes from here. This becomes the passive action and it becomes controlling this. See, here, right? So I have this action.
Chopping block. This is the knife.
And this he doesn't feel me doing this. He just feels this. It doesn't feel hard. It's soft. But if I move faster, that becomes faster because I close faster. So because here, you see. So that's how your strength is being used. And then here. right? Then it comes down, right? So that every action is a is a direction of a force. That's what we have done. Compatible with the direction. 1, 2, 3, slant. The position is here because this twist finishes the movement, right? So this knee should be in here. So this nose and here is going for that knee. So now you feel centered. Yeah. This can go out a little. Yeah. And then that's it. And then kick. And then phoenix. Yeah. Then this should be square. The phoenix is squaring because when we're here, we turn, sink, and thrust. It's different from this. Or the, see, this, here, here, those two are the same. This is different. This is side view, this is frontal center. See? Because when your body's here, then it doesn't have strength here. When you turn, now you have your press. And then that is there, right? And this comes like that. So a lot of, yeah. So when this comes here, it turns like this. So it has here, because if it's like this, the strength goes up. So if your strength is here, it goes this way. But the strength should be pressing, right? So you actually, just your action, this is a triangle, it's a wedge. Come forward, right? It just comes, the force just comes like this, right? So that's why even the angle of this wrist, so when you're here, sink, turn, like that. Yeah, so you see the wedging of your forearm, because that's a triangular strength. Your hand is here, it just glances up. When you go like this, it has two dimension. It has down when you come forward, and then it projects. So that's redirection. Yeah, because you had it out here. It was out like this.
So is this too close?
It just should be like that, yeah. It's really this.
So the elbow's on the left.
No, it doesn't have to touch. But it's this. If it's this, if you don't do this, then it didn't release. Even though it's soft, it's still there. Yeah. So it's like this. Right.
So you are cupping it.
Yeah. You cup it if you want the strength here.
Yeah.
Without cupping it, let it go. No, just let that go. Then there's nothing there.
Yeah.
Put it there. Now you have it here.
That's
Yeah. It's like butterfly. It's like cutting hand. Butterfly.
So the salute.
Salute is not so sinking. It's more on top. This is on the bottom. This is on the top of the bottom. You see what I mean? What?
The left hand block
It should be a little bit higher, right?
Which one?
The little bit.
like after this leg kick.
Yeah. Yeah.
It should be low. It should be a little bit higher, right?
Yeah, like this. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then cup your hand here, so you have that wrist. Yeah, like that.
This way I can't get at him, right?
Yeah.
Because if your hand was too close,
Yeah,
so I can't get at him.
yeah. This good and bad about this, because if he grabs my hand, that's the top hand, and he pulls it down. No, the other hand, if he pulls it down, then I could get caught here. But you have to be soft enough to get out. Don't be rigid. This is here. Your hair, the structure here creates this. So actually, I'm moving it that way. See. So then I relax. Then I put his hand on top. So a lot of it is position. This is just a second form. And you see, we have to backtrack to relearn the positions to understand the intensity of the motion. We did Gung last Tuesday, and we spent a lot of time on some of the things there, but yeah. Sink, Yeah. So this is okay to lean a little bit this way, but turning this way. Because this leg actually doesn't have a lot of strength in it, doesn't have a lot of weight in it. So when you're here, then when you spin this and you turn your body, completes the motion. Then when you drop here, it creates that. Yeah. Again, do that again. So you have to turn, when you finish, after you turn, the spin is, okay, good, right? But then finish here. No, not yet. The waist more, a little bit more. Yeah, now. Now drop. Yeah. And then it comes here. Yeah. But I mean, you know, yeah. So then we went to the butterfly from here. Okay, we're here. Open the stance first, and then spin. So that is opening so you can close it. Then you shift, step, and then flip. So this hand is good. Push. And then we're going to shift, cross, twist. Step, lift, and so you have to, because you're creating a circle, you have to have like that compatible action, right? So it's not flat, it's really like this. Then you step, turn, and push. Now you have to shift, step, sink. So you don't put weight until you block. Yeah. Then uppercut. So you want to maximize the potential of your low position, because if you're in your stance, then no matter what you put into this arm, you don't have. But if you're here when you step, your body makes the fact that my hand is here, just like this, right? Just make a fist, right? The fact that my body's here already created a force there. Now, if I created the force here, I only need to turn there. So that's using, right? So this is chim, sink, turn, right? And then this just has to fall. So you don't really need all that strength. In the beginning, you're just using strength. But you have to use your stance, your body, your structure, and then you have to tie it together. Then the movement becomes efficient and effective. You know, efficiency, effectiveness is the most important thing if we're trying to use the movement. So that gives you the body form, right? Yeah, that's a little bit, yeah. So that finish. But what happens when you train like that is the back and your brain start to recognize there's a little bit more to go. Meanwhile, it thinks it's okay. So that's what motor skills are. You really have to program, build, you know, the synapses and the neurons and whatever wiring it's missing to fill in those gaps. And then it starts to improve the movement. But, you know, those are just the missing links. You have to, you know, recreate those. Those are not even, you know, it's part of that. There's habit of stopping, but taking it a little further will break that habit. So, all right, so let's go through that form one more time. Now we have all those little things. It's not going to happen right away, but some of it will, because, you know, you have a better understanding. Okay, ready? Begin. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, sliding step, punch, elbow, strike down, back fist, change direction, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, scoop, press, kick, jump back, sink, rise, twist, turn, kick, and phoenix. Pivot, 1, 2, 3, push, 1, 2, 3, push, 1, 2, fist and fist, yeah. And this is crossing, yeah. Yeah, like that. Okay, 1. So when from the uppercut, right, this cross block, let the hands pass each other on the way back. So you hear shift, step back, and then let them exchange a motion right there, right? And then from here, you're gonna turn like this. But the important thing when you turn is not to leave your elbow up. See? Yeah. So when you're here, when you turn, sink your elbow till the tiger's mouth becomes horizontal. Right? Yeah. So then you're like this. So now you're capturing my elbow. Right? And then this would be chopping to the neck or the clavicle area, right? So what you should be doing is 1, 2, see, 3. So in other words, this and this become that extension. 1, 2. 1, leg, push. Yeah. And then just focus your wrist. Yeah. And you have gravity working, so just drop your elbow. Yeah. Like this. Yeah. Okay. Again. Ready? Right. So you just drop your elbow because you're here. Turn. Yeah. So your target position, if you look in the mirror, oh, stay there. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So you forgot this hand, look like that because it was up here before. Yeah. And then when you look in the mirror and you chop, the front knee should be bent more, lean forward, and then this should be here, yeah. And your body should be twisted like that. See, when you twist a little more, this, your nose and your knee will have a center line of movement. So you're chopping, it's going to be right there. See why you have to focus your body and align your body like that? Because that's where your maximum potential of the strength is, that it's going to be there. That's what you strive for in form. But that's also where you strive for in, ultimately, if you were to hit your opponent, that would be the most powerful part of the movement because your body would release power at that point. So you have to set up your position to execute. So that's what you would do. If you were to block, you would have to get in your advantage position. So if he threw a punch and I block, I have to set my position up so that's what I'm looking for as my final movement. So your body will know how to realign and set up for that. Yeah. Yeah, go again. Yeah. Yeah, so this one is still here. Yeah. So this is, yeah. So when you're here, like this, when you turn, there's an adjustment here too. See, 1, 2, and then here, right? Yeah, good. Yeah. See your body, why you have to release tension in your joints is because there's a constant expansion and contraction and folding and disconnect. So 1, yeah. 1, feel, yeah. 2, 3, yeah. So it's missing just a dimensional change, but yeah. He's got 10 years on you. Including his age, he's got 20 years on you. No, no, it's good. No, it's good. No, because this is just the basic structure, right? But when you use the move, it's 1, 2, 3. Now all of this. See, if I go like this, no, the other side, right? If I go like this is that, but I can't get to here without relaxing here, right? The folding here becomes the closing of the armpit. So we have closing of the armpit by sinking the elbow. So whenever you do this, that's a closing of the elbow, the armpit. When you do this, that's a transitional closing. This is a pulling in. So pulling is different from the transitional closing because why? Because it's passive. It's passive to create the structural integrity of your position. Because when you're here and I cover, if I don't close it, I don't have the strength. If I leave it here, right? He lifts, it's there. But when I go like this, it's like it's no longer there. That's the difference, right? That's the kungfu. So anyways, there's a lot of little things. All right, so let's go through fourth form. Or you want to do this? Anything else in this? Close, huh? Yeah, and even while we're here, let's just finish it up. This one, we step here, then roll. Right. So we get the sword position, then we step. So you see, when you step, this is already preparing. This is finishing. This is stepping. Now, not putting weight there yet, because we're like this. Then hit like this. Then like this. Then like this. Then like this. Then like this. See, when your body is ready, every maneuver can be explosive, right? So if you're here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all of those are structures because you never know which one of those you can use. Because my hand is here, and he punches here, it becomes that. And then this becomes that. Then this becomes that. So any one of those will become a transition as a response. So if you only look at this as the technique, what happened to in here? That's the body form, right? So that's what have to be, adjusted over time. So the fact that we sink the elbow, lift the hand, all this is learning to manipulate your skeleton. The fact that we're here and and we're closing, step, turn, here. Those are all parts of movements that could be adaptable. Lift and then trap. Yeah. So in general, our basically our forms are very good, but to take it to the next level of understanding, it can be better. So that's why I bring up some of these things. So you have an understanding that's housed here. Then when you practice, it's not blind. You have something to work toward. So many objectives, many goals. So that's really how you have to. Otherwise, you practice blindly, and you keep second guessing it, or just run through sequence for sequence. It doesn't go anywhere. It's like, I guess it's like in music, you're reading notes all the time, but then when you put it to the instrument, it doesn't sound the way it's supposed to until you really go work it through, right? So these are just like pieces, like the alphabet. You put them all together, you string them together, and you create words. But the thing is, you just can't randomly string them together because it doesn't really make sense. So, anyways, so let's go to, you can pick a form. Which form you want to go through? John, you have a favorite? No. First form? Oh, okay. The long version. He wants to do first form long version. Are you ready for that? Everybody's knees okay? Okay. Kim says, okay, I'll watch. Okay, now I can point out a few things. a lot of times you teach this, so it is actually good to know some of the things that are inside. Okay, we'll run through. We'll do it once, I'll do it to the count, and then if I see stuff that might be, tweak, we can, ready, begin. 1, 2. So when you start, right off the bat, right, when you start, here's just a tip, right, when you bring your hands to your hip, if you bring your hands to your hip, you didn't control the limb. You should pull the hand up from your elbow. If you pull it from the elbow behind you like we do an elbow strike, then you'll involve your shoulder and your wrist in a direction. So once you do that, then your chest will be involved. Once you do that with the elbow, then your back will be involved. So now it becomes a torso motion, not just an arm, right? Ready? So you pull back. No matter how fast you want to pull it, your elbows will go in the right direction. Okay, ready? Begin. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Scoop. Uppercut. Remove. Punch. 1. Uppercut. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Cut. Palm. Remove. Punch. Squat down. Oh, no, long version. He wants to do a long version. So you squat down. Uppercut. Remove. Punch. Suspended horse. Drunken fist. To the back. To the front. Remove high. Punch. Squat down. Uppercut. Sliding step. Step to the back. Stroke. Elbow. Back fist. Palm. High block. Crescent kick. Jump kick. Press down. Trap. Back fist. Remove. Punch. Squat down. Uppercut. Remove. Punch. Suspended. Drunken fist. Remove. Punch. Squat down. Uppercut. Sliding step. 1, 2, 3. Palm. Scoop. Press. Kick. Punch. Dragon. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Actually, it's pretty good, because you guys teach it a lot and you're working with it. It's so, and you really can't get too complicated with this form because it's pretty direct. The only thing is that when you squat down and you lift your elbow, it shouldn't go up here. It should be here. Should be, and it forms a triangle. You see the triangle? So your hand is just like this. So some of you may not know what the purpose of this movement is, but it can be a block. It comes here. It can be a block. It can be a fold. Yeah. So it can be a fold, and then you turn the dragon. So the movement is here to here. See, so really when you're here, this is taking a movement, press, bang. And then you turn like that, and then this becomes that. So that, and you can also use this like this. This for, like if he did a round kick this way, this, and then it's a takedown. Yeah, so that's a position. So you can also wrap it like you kicked on this side. Here, you wrap it, and then you can throw your. Yeah, you can do that too. But I mean, it's the position. So you have that. So this is a draping. You can also just take that movement, and come this way, right? And take your hand like that. So that's just pulling down like that. And this hand is there to support. Yeah. This is also for like trapping like this. You know, and then you, for front kick, if you're here, you turn to a back fist, it's a trapping. This can be here to catch up.
His lower hand grabs and
Yeah.
this just breaks
Yeah.
it. He just kind of.
Then you turn to dragon, yeah. So it's that, yeah. And this, then uppercut, sliding step, because you have it in 10 images, that's where that movement has, you know, yeah. Yeah. This is a fake. This could be a fake. You're really making someone respond. If I go like this, he blocks. Whoop. It's a block. Whoop. Or you borrow the strength. He's here. He presses. So that's called the disappearing hand. It's kind of a black hole. No, right. You press. Someone presses. You just go this way. So that's. So you use this as your maneuver. Yeah. Reverse. This becomes leopard. Middle block to leopard. 1, 2. So you take it. Hunggar has this 3 continuous strike. Back fist, cover, leopard. Right. It has a leopard like this. Middle block, leopard, and back. So that's chop chui. Right. So you hear 1, 2, 3, 4, back fist, cover hand, back fist, up. So that's the 5 images movement. This is a cover. You're coming down like this. Right? This is coming across the neck or to the face. And then, you know, yeah. So that's coming in like that. So yes, you know, first form is pretty good actually. You know, it's pretty not as intricate as the second form with some of the movements. So the elbow, we know what that is, right? You're removing like this, and then elbow, back fist, and palm. So those any elbow, back fist, and palm thrusting. Well, otherwise is really a combination, a series. You're practicing 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Those are continuous movements, 3 strike continuous. So not just Yidimon is 3 continuous strikes, those are 3 continuous strikes too. And those really go in order because when you back fist, here again, that's just like borrowing strength. If I back fist and he blocks, you go down. Because this is, you have to realize that that's the opening, right? So what can you do here? 1, 2, 3. That's the one from Mongbu Kun. Can you see that? 1, 2, 3. So that goes right in there. Pretty hard to see because you're so close. You don't see this. Now if you couldn't hear any blocks, ooh, it's kind of sweaty. Then you, okay. Okay, all right. So that's what the, that's a sao. This is a sao, back fist, chop. So that's a chole foot movement. This is a hook, a back fist, a leopard, right? So if I do a back fist and a leopard and I reverse it, so that's a sao. If he pushes it, kwa. He lifts it, chop. That's those 3 movements that they use, sao, kwa, chop. Those 3 movements kind of go to a hook, a back fist, and a thrust. We have a hook, a back fist, a palm, and a punch. That's in fuhak. So all these movements that we learn sequentially just teaches you to go from one position to the next without thinking about it. Because the hardest thing to do after you block is know what the next counter is. The first counter might be easy. Then you get stuck because you don't know what the next movement's going to be because you don't know what. So that's, so without the experience, you don't know how to follow up on the next movement. But you have these, this. So those are, so if you also have this, boom, 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 right? You know all these movements. You just take the first movements from the first form. You have, right, you block, you cross, you like this, that is the reversing of the drunken fist. Because when you strike like this, if I strike like this, that's a strike like this too. So that goes to the back. So you're just reversing the movement. So your drunken fist is also a block. Then if you punch here, you can defend like this. See, so that's an avoidance. Like this, and then this is like this. So that's like diagonal flying in Tai Chi. So, you know, the movements that we have, you know, whether it's Tai Chi or Kung Fu, has similar actions. So if you understand those, when you do your forms, if you're in a cross hand position, it's here. When you shift to here, it's here. When you flip it over, it's here. Right? So your hand, it's just a changing of directions. And when you're in the change of directions, this hand goes like this. If this opens, right, then it becomes a grab. The drunken fist also can be used for an arm bar, because when we're here, here's the cross hand, here's the strike, or here's the pull. That's the arm bar. But you might want to go like this, strike, right, arm bar, and then strike this way. Or you can go up and then come down to the leg, right? That's a, actually Lam Sai Wing was noted for his ten du siu to the knees. So that's why we have the, you know, when you chop down like this in Fu Hak, this is to take the knees, yeah, to the knee joint. So you want to just do Fook Fu, because we have about five minutes. Ready? Eighth form. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2. Short punch 3. 1, 2, push. 1, 2, push. Put something in. Boom. Vertical punch. Vertical punch. Corner punch. Corner and punch. Okay, turn. Slice. Sliding step punch. Elbow. Strike down. Back fist. 1 and push. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Jump. Water punch. High block. Palm. High block. Palm. Step up and press. Trap. Sink. Uppercut. Hop. Pull back. Punch. Sweep. Turn. Cover. Big. Black tiger. Step. Dragon. Chun Kyo. Sliding step. Punch. Cut. Big. Grab. Cut. Big. Grab. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Sliding step punch. Turn. Close. Okay. So there's a lot to that, right? Okay, deep breathing. Inhale. So next week's schedule, just in case you didn't know, we're open Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturday. So Thursday and Friday we're closed. And Monday we're typically closed anyways. So, yeah. So, okay, we'll bow. Ready? Up. Okay, salute. Okay. So have a good one. Unless if you're here Tuesday, we'll be here. You coming Tuesday? Will you be here Tuesday? Yeah. Okay.